Good day and welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Thanks so much for joining me. Yesterday, we examined what we're looking at in terms of absolute requirements, this way or else. Absolute requirements that we place on our most important relationships. I also asked you in our exercise to identify any negative storylines that might come up for you, as well as any accompanying bodily tension or mental, emotional tension that you might notice. I'm just curious, what did you find? Let me give you an example. I suggested as one requirement, I made up an example. The requirement could be, she should be friendlier to my family. Possible negative storylines that might be generated in and around that requirement, especially when it's not fulfilled or met, might be something along these lines. So remember, the requirement is she should be friendlier to my family. The negative storyline might be, she really doesn't respect me very much. And in terms of physical or mental tension, when that requirement is not met, it might go something like this. I feel all sweaty, my stomach aches, my mind is racing. I think you begin to get a sense of it. For today, what I'd like to suggest is that let's extend this exploration even further. I'm going to invite you to take each requirement that you identified in yesterday's exercise. I asked you to list 4 to 6 requirements that come up for you. I'd like you to list those one by one on the left side of a piece of paper. Let me make an example. An example might be, he should support my work more. You just write that down on the left-hand side as a requirement. And next to the description of each one of those requirements, I'd like you to write how you tend to feel and act when your loved one, your significant other, doesn't meet that specific requirement. What kinds of feelings, what kinds of actions follow? So for example, if the requirement that I just shared with you, the example was, he should support my work more. Certain feelings and actions would follow from that, and they might be along this lines. I pull away emotionally, or I worry that I don't measure up to his expectations. That gives you a sense of the way that we can feel and even act. We pull away. And then next to that brief description of feeling and actions that might follow on the requirement not being met, I'd like you to write down how you see your feelings and actions, the ones we just talked about, how do you see those impacting your relationship? So I'm asking you to step back from the canvas and take a look at this. So if as I just shared, I pull away emotionally, or I worry that I don't measure up to his expectations, how that might affect our relationship, it might be obvious, but I think it's good to write it down. And for example, we might write down something simple as, we grow further and further apart. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. And let's just see what comes up for you when you do this, okay? I appreciate you engaging in the exercise. I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you. I wish you safety and well-being, and please come join me again here soon.